You know, when you're caught in a really thick fog, your first instinct is usually just to freeze.
Right, like you just stop moving entirely.
Exactly. You can't see a foot in front of you, the world goes dead quiet, and you're entirely disoriented. You don't need someone yelling at you to run, you just need someone to stand there with a lantern.
Yeah, that's a really great way to put it.
Today we're doing a deep dive into how music can actually serve as that lantern when you're seeking comfort during a period of profound personal loss. We're unpacking this incredible album called Dvije, Ruke, Jedno, which translates to Two Hands, One Memory.
And what's so fascinating about this album
Yeah.
is that it goes way beyond just, sounding sad. It actually maps the psychological stages of grief directly onto your physiology.
It's this ambient post-folk soundscape. So no catchy pop choruses here. We're talking sweeping acoustics, wind textures, and these low, slow strings designed to literally walk beside you.
Right, because the initial stage of loss is almost always that stunned stillness.
That absolute numbness when you first get tragic news. And the album mirrors this perfectly in the opening track, 𝗬𝗓, or The Impact of Silence. It drops you right into a sparse 50 beat per minute cello drone.
And that number is important. 50 beats per minute is intentionally slower than a typical resting heart rate.
Oh, wow. So it's physically slowing you down.
Exactly. The biological mechanism at play here is called neural entrainment. Basically, the human brain naturally syncs its own brain waves to external rhythms.
That makes total sense, like when you start tapping your foot to a beat without even realizing it.
Right, so by forcing the tempo down to 50 BPM, the music is physically pulling your nervous system into that heavy stunned state, which validates the paralysis of shock.
But looking at the tempo map here, it doesn't stay in that numb state for long.
No, it definitely doesn't.
Track 4, 𝗬𝗓𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪္$— which translates to a storm without an address suddenly jumps to 80 BPM. It turns into this cinematic storm of dark percussion.
Yeah, it completely shifts gears into this chaotic territory.
Which honestly sounds like a panic attack. And I have to ask, if I'm actively seeking comfort, doesn't immersing myself in an auditory storm of anger risk making me feel worse? I mean, why would I want to subject my nervous system to that?
Well, you'd think so, right? But true comfort in mourning isn't about rushing you toward a false sense of healing. We so often confuse comfort with forced cheerfulness.
Oh, I see what you mean. We just want people to smile and say they're fine.
Exactly. But this spike in tempo uses elemental sounds to validate the grueling physical reality of grief. Those dark hand drums mimic a racing, anxious heartbeat.
And the low strings echo cold breath in the air, so it's reflecting the exhaustion of being angry or overwhelmed.
Right. It proves your pain is understood,
Yeah.
rather than just dismissing it and telling you to cheer up. And once the music validates that chaotic fight or flight state, your brain is finally given permission to transition out of it.
So the album can gracefully shift toward gratitude.
Yes, exactly.
Looking at the notes for track 9, 𝗓𝗓 or I Carry Your Voice, you can really hear that pivot happening. It takes the exact same sorrowful musical motifs from those earlier, heavier sections, but reintroduces them with much fuller, warmer instrumentation.
Taking the specific melodies that cause pain and adding harmony to them, it's so powerful. It symbolizes how a lost loved one's influence transforms, from a source of immediate trauma into internal strength and ongoing guidance.
Which organically brings us to the finale, ◓ Dvije, or I Walk Forward. The tempo settles into this steady walking pace of 74 BPM.
Yeah, with those bright acoustic guitars and wind textures coming in.
And it doesn't erase the sorrow at all. It just transforms the memory from a crushing weight into forward motion.
Because grief is a landscape to be traversed, not a problem to be solved. By biologically pacing you through shock, then anger, and finally a steady walk forward, this music offers a hand to hold along that journey.
It really does. But there is one last detail from our sources that completely recontextualizes this profoundly human experience we've been talking about.
Yeah, this is the part that really got me.
This entire map of mourning was a hybrid process. It was directed by a human, sure, but the music itself was generated using AI tools like ChatGPT and Suno.ai.
It's just a staggering realization when you consider the emotional and physiological depth of the journey we just explored.
It really leaves you with something to ponder. Can music generated with artificial intelligence actually provide a purer vessel for our deepest human grief? Precisely because it strips away a human performer's ego.